This is Going Under, Anesthesia Answered with Dr. Brian Schmutzler. I'm Vahid Sadrzadeh.
And Going Under is sponsored by Butterfly Network. When it comes to successful ultrasound-guided procedures, precision is everything. That's why IQ3, Butterfly's handheld POCUS device, contains advanced features to support procedural success. With Butterfly's needle out of plane preset, you can visualize the needle tip within 1 millimeter after insertion. Butterfly's biplane imaging, the only multiplane imaging in a handheld ultrasound, lets you see both short and long axis views simultaneously in real time. And NeedleViz enhances your ability to track the needle in plane from entry point to the region of interest. Butterfly IQ3 also delivers image quality similar to a cart-based POCUS system at 1/10 the price. And unlike a cart, you can carry it in your pocket to conveniently use where you want, when you want. So whether you're inserting IVs, performing regional anesthesia, conducting cardiac assessments, gastric evaluations, lung ultrasounds, or anything in between, the Butterfly IQ3 is the perfect probe for your practice. Visit store.butterflynetwork.com to claim a soft case with the purchase of IQ3. Use code BRIAN25 at checkout. Terms apply. And we've got some cool stuff coming up with Butterfly too, so I won't give it away too much. But so we got some neat stuff coming up. And I actually, just to toss this out there, I took my Butterfly IQ3 with me.
Okay.
To Mexico.
Nice.
So
to
got
Mexico.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So we got some video of using it kind of all over. So we'll show you that later on.
Nice. Yeah, excited about some of our content creation coming up around Butterfly Network. Today on Going Under, Anesthesia Answered, I feel like we've already recorded like 10 podcasts already. It seems like we're into the meat of the podcast season, and we've talked to quite a few great guests. We've had some great guests on. We're going to continue to talk about COVID-19.
Oh, yes.
Which has been in the news lately, big time. We continue. It's interesting. We had, if you look back at some of our earlier season podcasts, Bronson Taylor, we talked about specifically some of the viruses going around, and I feel like since that moment, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of GI-related
norovirus, baby.
We did talk about norovirus on that podcast. That is, I believe that's episode 2 of this season, if you want to go back and check it out. But a lot has transpired since that since that second podcast, but we're excited today to talk a little bit about supplements.
That's right. I got my supplement right now.
And for media, we talk a lot about what's in my camera bag. That's like the big thing every year. Like a lot of YouTubers are like, what's in your EDC, everyday carry? So today it's what's in Brian's
supplement box.
Box. Yeah. Not only for 90-year-olds.
Correct.
Those vitamin pill boxes.
So I take several supplements. Let me just do the preface before we get started.
Yes.
I am a doctor, but I am not your doctor. This is in no way medical advice, and I am not supporting any of these supplements. I have no contracts with any of these supplement companies. My opinion on supplements, just supplements in general, has always been that for the most part, if you get a good, well-made supplement, they're not going to hurt you. They're not dangerous, right? For the most part. For the most part, there's a likelihood that some of them help you, and we'll walk through what each of these do in my supplement case here. And so if you can afford them and there's a potential that they're helpful, I think that supplements are worthwhile using. Now, you've got to get good supplements. You got to get them from a reputable source and all that sort of stuff. And not all supplements work for all people. And again, I'm not supporting anybody else taking supplements. I'm just saying these are the supplements that I take that seem to work well for me.
So okay, let's just to the bare bones.
Sure.
What is a supplement?
Yeah, so in general, a supplement means that it's a some sort of substance that's put into generally a pill form, and sold not as an actual drug, but as a supplement. So it doesn't go through FDA testing or approval usually, and is not something necessarily that you can say, that's a drug that's been tested, randomized controlled trials, works for this particular ailment, okay? So supplements don't have the same sort of guidelines. They don't have the same manufacturing issues, any of that sort of stuff.
So anybody can put out a supplement, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and the supplement bottles always say not FDA approved. These claims are not supported by research. Blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. So
okay, so that's tricky though, right?
It is tricky, which is why. And again, I am not in any way associated with any of these companies, but I, in general, use two companies to buy my supplements from. One called Orthomolecular and one called Thorne. These are both companies I've researched quite a bit. They're run by pharmacists. I think one's actually run by a physician. The other one's run by a pharmacist. So this is not just like some random people throwing a bunch of whatever this is into a pill and putting it out. From what I've researched, it's done well. And what they say is in the supplements, because that's the other issue with supplements. A lot of times they've gone back and tested supplements, and what they say is in the supplements sometimes either isn't there or isn't there in the same amount, or there's additional things in there that they didn't talk about. So
is there like FDA approved vitamin D tablets or FDA approved vitamin C? Like, some of the, I don't know, I'm just going to throw some out here. Well, let me ask this question. So for the common cold,
yes,
right? Let's say you take natural path stuff like Umka.
Yeah,
I've taken Umka before.
Sure.
That's not FDA approved.
Not FDA approved, right? Correct. So for the most part, supplements don't have an FDA approval. There probably are some out there that do have an FDA approval, and some of the supplements have low levels. Like one that I take in particular is red yeast rice.
Okay, that
has low levels of the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, which are statins, right? So you've heard of rosuvastatin or atorvastatin, right, for cholesterol. So the red yeast rice has small amounts of a statin in it.
Okay,
right? So many supplements have active compounds in them that in other circumstances would be an FDA approved or an FDA cleared medication. In the case of most supplements, they don't go through any sort of approval. If they're manufactured in the United States, they obviously have to meet OSHA requirements and all that sort of stuff. So
with like the business or building,
so you would be safe. In general, they would be safe, but not approved by the FDA.
So what makes this is tough, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like the average, you are a physician.
Correct.
So you have access to that information.
Correct.
You are versed on that information.
Right.
A lot of people aren't versed on that information. So where is the best place, or what is the best method to gain that knowledge? I mean, to do the research you did?
I would go to a physician who believes in supplements. My personal physician is Lisa Miller in Indianapolis. She believes in supplements. She's part of believes that they do good things. And so I asked her, what do I need to take for what ailments and where do I get it? And so then did my own research that way. I would find a physician who uses supplements or believes that supplements are helpful and ask them.
Supplements are also tend to be more expensive, right?
Correct. Right. So the one downside of supplements, they're not covered by an HSA and FSA, although some are, so I can't say that as a blanket statement. For the most part, they're not covered by the HSA and FSA. They're not covered by insurance. So you're spending your own money on them.
Right.
There is a potential that some of them don't work or don't work the way you think they will. So potentially you're wasting your money. I get it. But I don't think in general in the United States most supplements are harmful. Therefore, if you have the expendable income and there's a potential that they could be helpful, in my opinion, that's why I take the supplements.
Do you find that, I don't know, maybe this is a study, maybe it's a personal question, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you find that you are spending less or having to get prescription medication less as your supplemental intake goes up, or is there a yin-yang balance there, or do you find any correlation there?
No, I don't think so. And I'm it's not like I take a bunch of medications anyway, so maybe I'm not the best example of that. But I would say when I look at my labs on these supplements versus not on these supplements, there's definitely a difference I can tell. And then just kind of the way I feel. Like if I miss, there's a set of supplements, and I'll go through these, but there's a set of supplements that if I don't take them, I know that I didn't take them.
You notice.
I know, yes, 100%. So,
That's interesting.
Not all of them. There, there's times, and Alicia, my wife, will attest to this. There's times where it's like, hey, because I set these out like 6 weeks. I do 6 weeks of supplements in these containers, Amazon. I set them out 6 weeks at a time. So I might get to the end of those 6 weeks and I'm traveling and I'm too busy. But there are certain ones where I'm like, these I'm taking every single day.
Do you mind me asking which ones?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to just go through them?
Sure.
All
yeah,
right. Okay.
Absolutely.
So these, this is just sort of my day supplements. I have some at night too that I didn't bring with me. But okay, so just starting out day supplement wise. So I don't know if you can see these on camera.
I'll lift it up just a little bit.
Right. I don't know where you want me
just
to go.
Just kind of hold one up.
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
So this is one of the key ones. This is psyllium powder. Okay. So psyllium powder is for GI. It's basically an insoluble fiber type product.
Okay.
So I take 2 of these.
Keep you regular?
Yeah. Keeps me regular.
Yep.
Yeah. So I take 2 of these.
Yep.
Total of 750 milligrams of psyllium. This is a vitamin D, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin D that I take every day. And then this is actually not a supplement. This is 81 milligram aspirin. So there were some studies a while ago, and some of this has gotten walked back a little bit, but there were some studies a while ago that if you're over the age of 40 and have any cardiac risk, which I have a family history of cardiac issues, that taking 81 milligram aspirin every day doesn't reduce your risk of a heart attack, but does reduce the risk that heart attack is fatal. So, and the side effect profile of 81 milligram aspirin is pretty low. So that's why I take the 81 milligram.
Is there any side effects to any of those that you mentioned?
The ones so far? No. I mean, if you get too much vitamin D, there are some things that can happen in the liver, but you would have to take a lot of vitamin D to get too much vitamin D, especially being a pasty white guy in northern Indiana.
You're not so pasty.
In the wintertime. Well, yeah. I was just in Mexico for 8 days. So
that's a lot of vitamin D
exactly,
there, too.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, but I don't spend all my time outdoors, right? That's 8 days out of the, I don't know, maybe 300 that we get no sun in South Bend. So, so I mean, potentially vitamin D. If you take too much aspirin, you've got a history of peptic ulcer disease. The aspirin certainly can cause worsening peptic ulcer disease, gastritis, stomach issues. Psyllium, if you don't take it with enough water, can actually do the reverse, constipate you, or kind of get stuck in your esophagus or stomach. So, I mean, are there hypothetical side effects to these medications? Sure.
Yeah.
But not likely.
Not enough.
Right. Not likely.
Not likely.
All right. So next I've got.
Whoa, there's more.
Oh yeah, there's a whole I've got there's probably 20 pills in here. So I take 2 of these fish oil every day. I think it adds up to a total of like just over 1,000 milligrams of fish oil.
Is that fish oils for skin?
Fish oil is for a lot of things. Probably cholesterol. Some probably raises your LDL. I'm sorry, raises your HDL, lowers your LDL maybe a little bit. Now there was just a study that came out not long ago that people who take fish oil and don't have AFib are more likely to get AFib, atrial fibrillation.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So there was no explanation as to why that occurred. I stopped taking it for like 2 weeks, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm just going to continue to take it. So, okay, next I've got just a vitamin C pill. So vitamin C, this I think is 1,000 milligrams. It's for buffered vitamin C, but vitamin C is good for a whole lot of things. Probably immunity, probably good for cardiovascular, GI, that sort of stuff. And then this is a probiotic called Orthobiotic 100. So it's a probiotic, keeps the flora in your gut the way it's supposed to be. Just a GI thing as well. We'll go to the next one here. So this is methyl CPG. I am heterozygous for the MTHFR gene. We maybe talked about this before, haven't we? So I don't process.
That acronym sounds new to me. So.
Yeah, all right. So I don't process B vitamins exactly the way I should, particularly folate, which I believe is B6. This is taking me way back to like medical school now. So I take a methylated form of it, so my body doesn't have to methylate it because it doesn't do it well. So it just helps.
What does that mean?
It helps the way that the B vitamins are absorbed, basically, into a functional form. This is another one.
The non-layman guy, the layman guy over here.
So this is another one of the
That's the fish
the
oil.
fish oil pills. And then let's see, I'm trying to remember what this one is. This one I think is a pill that kind of helps with immunity called Orthoimmune. It's got like zinc in it. It's got a little bit of magnesium, a couple other supplements in it. So it's kind of a combined supplement supposed to help with immunity. So here's the other key ones that I take. Because I take
That's a big red one right there. Yeah, hold that one up. Yeah.
So this is CoQ10. CoQ10, actually 300. So it's a lot of CoQ10. So taking red yeast rice has got the statin in it, and then I try to keep my LDL cholesterol under 50. To do that, I have
which is really
good. Really low, right? So to do that, though, I have to take a statin. So when you take a statin, whether it's from the red yeast rice or taking the actual statin medication, that depletes your CoQ10 in your liver. So I take.
Is
CoQ10.
that what causes like cramping, muscle tightness?
No, that's actually directly something with the receptor in the muscles. The CoQ10 is just CoQ10 helps with a whole lot of functions. It helps you to build like testosterone and that sort of stuff. So any of your steroid based.
Gotcha. So it's a testosterone booster.
Not
partially.
Not directly. It just helps. It helps offset the side effects, not the muscular side effects, but the other side effects of the statins. And then this is a critical. So that's critical to me. This one's critical to me as well. So this is magnesium.
Okay.
This is a total of 450 milligrams of magnesium. I take that every day. Helps with a lot of things. Helps with muscle soreness, not necessarily from the statins, but muscle soreness from
daily working out, blah, blah,
working
blah.
out, existing. Helps with GI, right? So magnesium is a prokinetic, so it's going to help you go more regularly.
Yeah.
And then it also helps with sleep.
Okay. So. How long did it take you to? This is all great information, by the way. That I think we can link below for people if they.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can link to orthomolecular and Thorne. For sure.
How long did it take you to dial this in?
I don't know, 5 years probably.
Jeez.
Yeah, because this is just the daytime. I've got nighttime supplements as well, and then some other stuff I take at home. So we can go through those too. I just didn't bring them with me.
Man.
Yeah.
That's just knowing your body, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like. Yeah. And I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too, there's not really that much attention or care put to it, right? It's like, but you are detailing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is every part of your day that is detailed out all week long, essentially.
Yep. Yeah.
And a lot of people are sitting at home maybe like, Brian, what are you training for? what are
life.
you? Life. The life expectancy, life healthiness.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and all we could do is really research.
Right.
I mean.
Yep. Yeah, do the research for yourself. Again, try to connect with a physician or nurse practitioner, whoever you see, who knows about supplements and can give you some idea of the supplements. And then you don't have to take their advice. There's a bunch of supplements that Dr. Miller recommends that I take that I looked up on my own, and I'm like, probably not worth it. So
then you just research it on your own.
Yeah.
Is protein a supplement?
Well, no, protein's a macro, a macronutrient. So you have to have protein. I mean, you can supplement protein into your diet, but you have to have protein to survive. So it's not really like in the sense of the word, a supplement.
So, how do we feel about, because these are all pill form?
Correct. Yeah.
How do we feel about gummies?
I have some gummies. So I do elderberry gummies. Not great research for that, but they taste good, and there's a little bit of sort of background research that they help with immunity. So I do elderberry gummies. I do apple cider vinegar gummies, mostly because I can't stomach just drinking the apple cider vinegar, but that helps with digestion. That helps with blood sugar. And then just processing what you eat for the day. So I really like doing the apple cider gummies. I do colostrum gummies, which are supposed to be pretty helpful for, again, digestion. They're supposed to help your body sort of maintain muscle mass. And then let's see, I'm trying to think what else I do at night. So I do some something called Phytocore, which is some like peptides that I take as well. So that's kind of the nighttime routine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm going to have to dial it in, man, because I am not that dialed in.
Oh, and lysine. I do lysine for cold sores. There actually is really good data for that. So I get cold sores from time to time.
I've heard that, though.
Yep.
That lysine is...
Yep. So there's really good data that if you take, and I can't remember the exact amount, you can look it up. I mean, you can get lysine anywhere, and then they'll say, like, take 2 pills or whatever. And so...
Man, this has been a really interesting What's in My Pill Box podcast.
What's in my pill box? Yeah, exactly. Well, you see this when we travel, right?
Yeah.
I'm carrying these things around all the time when I travel. So.
You can hear him like going into his bag, and he takes it out of his bag at TSA. Everything is...
And then I'm just popping them while I'm, like...
That's facts right there. Well, that wraps it up.
Yeah.
We're going to do like a little overhead cam and, do a kind of what's in my... so we'll post some of that video too. But this has been another edition of Going Under, Anesthesia Answered with Dr. Brian Schmutzler. If you'd like all of this or any of this information, again, he is a doctor. He's not your doctor.
Yes, I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, and I'm not telling you should take any of these supplements. These are the supplements that I personally take.
Heard. For Dr. Brian Schmutzler, I'm Vahid Sadrzadeh. This has been Going Under, Anesthesia Answered, brought to you by Butterfly Network. We'll see you in the next one.